did render a ministerial statement on the procurement of 156 ambulances under the Constituency Development Fund 2024.
Thereafter, we did see the House consider one urgent question, Understanding Order 82, and this was question 153.
And after the consideration of the question for oral answer, Understanding Order 82, the House did consider question for oral answer number 154, Understanding Order 80.
Thereafter, the House had some bills, and the cybersecurity bill, which was supposed to be considered at a second reading stage, was deferred to a later date.
The Cyber Crimes Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2024, was equally deferred to a later date.
And the Anti-Terrorism and Non-Proliferation National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024 was read the second time, and committee stage to be considered today, 6th December 2024.
Thereafter, the Professions Bill, there was resumption of committee work on the Health Professions Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2024. It went through the committee stage with amendments, and the report stage is expected to be taken today.
The Minerals Regulation Commission Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2024 was considered at committee stage with amendments, and we expect the report to be considered today, 6th December 2024.
And so that's the business that was considered yesterday. We now shift our attention to today's order paper and get to learn of what the House is expected to consider today. So today we do expect some announcements. We also expect the House to consider some urgent matters without notice, if there will be any. And also today being Friday, we do expect Her Honor the Vice President's question time, which takes 45 minutes, where Her Honor the Vice President gets to respond to questions without notice from various members of Parliament.
Of course, we also expect the Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts to render a ministerial statement on the development of multi-sports facilities in each constituency, and thereafter the Minister of Finance and National Planning is also expected to move a motion that the House do now resolve into Committee of Supply to consider supplementary estimates or number 2 of 2024.
And later on, we expect the House to consider some bills at different stages. And like we mentioned earlier, Her Honor the Vice President did move a motion yesterday to suspend standing orders, which enable the House to consider bills at more than one stage of a bill at a single sitting. So we do expect the National Health Research and Training Institute Bill, National Assembly Bill number 13 of 2024 to come up at committee stage.
And also the Green Economic Climate Change Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 over 2024 to be considered at a committee stage.
And the Local Authorities Superannuation Fund, the National Assembly Bill number 21 of 2024 to be also considered at committee stage.
The Customs and Exercise Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2024 also is expected to be considered at committee stage.
And we also have the Anti-Terrorism and Non-Proliferation Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024 to come up at committee stage.
We also have the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 32 of 2024, also to be considered at a committee stage.
And we do have the Minerals Regulation Commission Bill to be considered at report stage at National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2024.
The Health Professions Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2024 is expected to be considered at a report stage.
And we also have the Zambia National Public Health Institute Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2024 to come up at report stage.
The Zambia Institute of Quantity Surveyors Bill, National Assembly Bill number 19 over 2024 is also expected to be considered at a report stage.
And we also have the Judiciary Administration Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16 of 2024 to come up at third reading stage.
The Income Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2024 is also expected to be considered at a third reading.
And we also have the mobile money transaction levy bill, National Assembly Bill number 25 of 2024, to come up at third reading stage.
The Property Transfer Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 over 2024, is expected to be considered at a third reading.
And Joe, like we mentioned earlier, Her Honor, the Vice President, did move a motion yesterday that standing orders 27.2 and 123 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024 be suspended to enable the House to sit until all business on the order paper is completed on Friday, 6th December 2024, and also to consider more than one stage of the bill at a single sitting. And so we expect these bills to be considered at more than one stage. Just now, we take you to the floor of the House.
Honorable members of Parliament, Madam Speaker.
King of Zambia, proud and free, land of faith and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for our rights. We want freedom's side, oh, and strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by those to them. Let us all have people join as one, brothers under the sun, oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our pride. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise be, let's celebrate Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Remain with them under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you are committed to our church. Amen. All the honorable members, I have two announcements. The first announcement is that, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of a visitor from Lutando Youth and Young Women's Empowerment Organization from Chipata District, Eastern Province. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitor in our midst. I thank you. You may take your seat. Honorable members, the second announcement is that I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of visitors from Luansha parliamentary constituency in the Luansha district. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. I thank you. You may take your seats. Urgent matters without notice. Honorable member for Chairman, Honorable member for Sesheke.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On behalf of the people of Sesheke, Madam Speaker, this urgent matter of public importance is directed to, without notice, Ma'am, our Honor the Vice President. Our Honor the Vice President, you may wish to note that most of the borders, if not all, have run short of border passes. And Sesheke, to be very specific, has got one place that for you to access it, you have to go through Namibia. That's when you access that place. That place is in Musho. I honor the Vice President, during this time when the borders do not have border passes, the people of Musho are completely cut off from the rest of the country. Secondly, Sesheke is a 24-hour economy where trade between two countries is entirely depending on the same border passes. And the absence of these border passes, I honor the Vice President, has made the lives of the people of Sesheke very difficult to access certain amenities as well as the flow of business within the two countries. I seek your intervention, I honor the Vice President, and I'm happy that the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security has just walked in. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sesheke. Considering that we are adjourning today, even if the matter was to be admitted, it has to Her Honor the Vice President will have to come within 24 hours, and so it will not serve the purpose. I suggest that you ask the question during Her Honor the Vice President's question time. Maybe that will be of some help to you. Otherwise, you can put in an ordinary question. The Honorable Member for Nkana.
Madam Speaker, I rise to present this urgent matter without notice to Our Honor the Vice President. Your Honor the Vice President, some time back we did plead with the Minister of Agriculture for him not to sell our maize to Tanzania and other countries. Today being 6th of December, it is very clear we are about to experience another drought. It means that our production is going to still be chaotic, and therefore we will depend on support from other countries. Today, Your Honor the Vice President, the people to whom we sold our maize have now refused to continue selling us back that maize. And I mean Tanzania today. You are aware Tanzania has stopped selling maize to Zambia, owing to the fact that Honorable Mtolo has stopped paying them. This is obviously going to pose a threat on the food security of this country, and our people may die of hunger. Madam Speaker, is the Vice President in order to sit and not to come and update the country as to what other measures government is going to employ so as to guarantee the citizens of food security, owing the fact that the people we sold maize have now refused to sell us back that maize? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Nkana. Just like I guided the Honorable Member for Sesheke, I'm sure you know that today we are adjourning, and according to our standing orders, when a matter of urgent matter without notice is admitted, if at all it will be admitted, and a statement will have to be rendered within 24 hours. So in view of the fact that we will not be around until February, I suggest that you put in a question. I think that is Honorable Member for Chama North. I think it applies if you are raising a matter of urgent matter without notice. Let's wait for Her Honor, the Vice President. Or you are just in anticipation. You are already trying to hit the lines. No. We haven't reached that point yet. Please clear and lock it. And please clear so that we make progress. Her Honor, the Vice President's question time. Just an observation, as we were singing our national anthem, the Honorable Member from Pika, who is number one, was not even singing, he was just standing there. I was just wondering, does he need help with the words? So today he has just woken in another mood. So the Honorable Member from Pika.
Madam Speaker, I was actually loudly singing. Maybe you couldn't just see my lips moving. And good morning, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to interact with Her Honor the Vice President. Her Honor the Vice President, good morning. My very simple question to Her Honor the Vice President is, between now and 2026, when will your government improve the living standards of our people who are suffering and failing to eat 3 times a day because of your harsh economic policies? Madam Speaker, thank you.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning, Honorable Member for Pika, for that politically motivated question. Yes, there is no real reality. Honorable, we are working every day. What we are doing every day is to improve the living standards of our people. What are you saying we are doing or not doing? I think you have to be specific, Madam. Asking general things just so that people can hear in Mpika that you have asked a question. There is no question in here. It is too broad and loses meaning. Between now and 2026, what are we going to do to improve the living standards of our people? How do you improve the living standards of your people or people? It's by growing the economy. That is the way you improve. And this is what we are doing, Madam. We are working hard. How do we improve the economy of our country, for example? We have to grow. I don't know whether I'm using the right words, but the financial sector is very, very important. And for us, we are looking towards ensuring that people can get jobs. That is a way of improving the living standards. How are they going to get jobs? They are getting jobs in the investment that is coming, including in the mines. Jobs are being created every day in meeting our own promises. That we are creating jobs, sir. This is how you improve poverty in our land, because poverty in our land is not yet at wealth, accumulation. It is basically people must have something to live on. And that is what we are doing. Jobs are created in the mines. I want to go through the mining because it was just yesterday. Was it yesterday? The minister was talking about how many mines we have opened. Who is going there? Minister of Roads is working hard. When the investment is coming under PPP, it is saving people. The roads only is not what we are doing. It is creating jobs under those, the roads. We are working under the Ministry of Agriculture. When you talk of supporting the farmers, the small-scale farmers, that is job creation. I can go around, and we need to give people jobs. That is one thing that we are doing, but we are also helping them in agriculture. We will also continue to go on with the social welfare support through the many different interventions, the social cash transfer, enhance the social cash transfer. We are talking of cash for work. All these are interventions that we are doing to ensure our people can live at least seemingly decent life under very difficult conditions. I will not run away. I will not shy away from saying the conditions are not easy to handle. It is not only for Zambia. This issue has become a global issue. The climate change issues are impacting us. So as honorable, the leader from Pika, you should stand with your people and say, we will survive. What do we do? It is not political. Whether you say you want to change the government, because that's your intention. No, the government will not be changed because people understand the efforts. Things that we are doing, madam, some of the things that his government brought on us. For me, it is, no, I will not say that. Thank God for reminding me. His government did a lot of harm. Because before he came, I sat here. Under this minister, I sat there, madam. The economy that was left by this government that was here, which they kicked out, was far much better. MMD. But you come, everything eaten. We go back to dates that we were forgiven and we improved on. You can talk of the statistics of the figures. But we are not crying. We are working hard to undo the bad things, the damage that was done. This is what we are doing. I can tell you the successes. And people are watching. Yes, we realize, madam, they are going through stress. But who isn't? Who isn't? The Honorable knows that the world is going through stress. This is what we should tell our people. What should we change? How hard should we work as a people so that we can live better? I can go on, but I think I end here. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for Sesheke.
Thank you so much once again, Madam Speaker. I honor the Vice President. I'll repeat the question. You may wish to note that most borders have run short of border passes, and Sesheke, it having a 24-hour economy, and emotion, to be very specific, I honor the Vice President. Emotion, I honor the Vice President, that you cannot access emotion without going through Namibia. And as the situation stands, your people of Imosho are completely cut. They cannot come to Sesheke, neither can they go in just into Namibia to access certain need, as you may be aware, the situation that the global village is facing. What is your position and government's position in this matter, Your Honor, the Vice President? Thank you.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I would like to thank the Honourable Member for Sesheke for that concern. Madam, I am aware, the government is aware of this critical issue. That is how I can put it, that the passes are not available and all that facilitates the movement of people in Mwisho. And the government is doing everything possible to bring answers to this situation, working between the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Home Affairs. It is my prayer and our prayer that that is resolved very quickly, because we cannot leave a situation like that. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Member for Mukushi South.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Your Honor, the Vice President, when I was coming for work, I saw a building having two doors. One door is entry, written entry. One door is written exit.
Oh, the Honourable Member, don't give us riddles. Ask the question. Is it a storytelling time or what?
The exit was written UPND because they are going in 2026. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Your Honor, the Vice President, in 2021-2022 season, you failed to supply fertilizer. In Rwanda, we are getting 2. Sometimes we are sharing 1.5 a bag. 2023-2024, you failed to supply fertilizer. 2024-2025 is a disaster in terms of fertilizer distribution. You can question. You are going. You can question for the last time.
Order, Honourable Member.
Those are the symptoms, Madam Speaker.
Order. Honourable Member for Mukushi South, you are a senior member of this House, and you are even a former minister. I'm sure you know how to ask questions. Please ask your question. It doesn't matter who is going where. We haven't even reached where you are saying they are going. So just ask your question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your guidance. Your Honor, the Vice President, now that you have only got one season, 2025-2026, what are you promising the Zambian people this time around that you are going to improve in terms of fertilizer distribution? I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I would like to thank the Honourable Member for Mukushi South, who has entered this place and is exiting. Today we are adjourning Synod here. We will all exit and go home. But if he's talking of the political winning and losing, colleagues, let us not get engulfed in politics and forget that people are observing. People understand. They know the difficulties that we are passing through. They also know the capacity of tackling the issues that beset us. It is very, very unfortunate for the Honourable Madam Speaker to say we have failed to supply fertilizer. No, we have supplied fertilizer. We have kept the number, where is Mutolo, of fertilizer. We have introduced even the SAF, the other window added to what you did. We have added to that. So how do you say we have failed? What failure is this? It is failure in the political space. It is not failure in reality. Honorable Member for Mokushi, we are still promising Mokushi South, we are still promising the Zambian people that we walk the talk. Whatever we promised, we will work within the environment as the environment evolves, as God brings different issues. But that which man brought, that is what we are resolving, including paying back the debt that you left. You have to tell them. You have to tell the people that this government is paying off the debt, restructured the debt, paying the debt which you left for the sake of the Zambian people. And they have seen it. Madam, I am always worried when I see colleagues. They forget the damage and they think Zambians have also forgotten. They have not forgotten. They have not forgotten. That I can tell you. They have not forgotten. And we shall see 2026. This time, your numbers will even be worse. We shall see. Us, we are working, madam, eyes on the ball. We are providing for our people under difficult circumstances. If this came, madam, if the drought came under some of those on your left, people could have died. But to date, we have not. We have not. So when you talk of failure, I wonder, when we have been sending all the fertilizer, only one fertilizer is there. We have taken the FISIP by record 100%. Fertilizer, seed, including the loans that we are working on. We believe, indeed, there has been a delay in terms of disbursing for SAF. But we believe by next week, people will get that. And that is an increase. And we pray that there will be an increase in the production of crop. And also we pray that God releases rain. If he releases rain, next year, madam, they will not have any questions. They will be surprised. That is true. The economy looks bright. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chitambo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I honor the Vice President. Good morning. And I also want to congratulate you for a successful launch of the book that I'm really awaiting to read. I honor the Vice President. Indeed, you are right that you are working very hard to turn the economy. And you did indicate to this House that there is what we are calling the Narumangonomics. I honor the Vice President. Recently the Bank of Zambia increased the monetary policy. This to me means that the lending rates have gone up, and very few people in this country will be doing business because they will need to borrow from banks for them to invest. Madam Speaker, if that is the case, it means that even those that have already borrowed with the banks, the interest rates are going up. Some of them might even fail to pay back their loans. And the Minister of Finance really also wants people to contribute to the national basket by way of paying their taxes and maintain their business portfolios. That being the case, Madam Speaker, I honor the Vice President. What is government doing to ensure that those that have borrowed are cushioned so that they don't fail to manage their businesses and ensure that the economy is also operating, and we are able to pay salaries to those that have got workers, and to those that might not manage to feed other people in terms of families, because now the burden is becoming overloaded. I thank you.
Honor the Vice President.
Madam, some questions we will leave it to experts. Yeah, but I think with all that you have said, in my mind is that the concern is about the individuals that have borrowed from the banks. And the fact that because of the fluctuation, I hope I got that, of the exchange rate, then the loans seem not to be, you know, is that what you said? Maybe you can repeat them, because I may not have gotten everything. Maybe you can repeat, because I have to get the narrative so that I can answer.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Chitambo, as you ask, please be precise. Do not debate. Otherwise, your question will be lost in words. You can repeat the question, be precise to the point.
Madam Speaker, it's just about the cost of doing business, which has gone high. And I needed an answer to that. What is government doing to cushion businesses so that we rebound as an economy? I thank you.
It appears the question is similar to the one asked by the Honorable Member from Pika, if I can recall. Same question repeated in a different way. Honor the Vice President.
Thank you. The cost of doing business basically affects the living standards of the people, the business people. That is true. Except this time, again, the question is a little different. But you said because of this, then when they borrow, what are you doing as government? The businessmen are still doing business, and they are still borrowing from the banks. I think when businessmen borrow, it's a contract. They do a contract. In my thinking, my own raw thinking, is that when they borrow, if the payment becomes difficult, normally the banks will also assess, and they'll be able to see, probably increase the period of payment, like we have done as a country, to have our debt restructured. Because the banks don't want to squeeze the business people out of business. They are working to ensure that they remain out of business, because when they remain in business, the banks also remain in business. I'm sure there is a mutual understanding in what is happening. But generally, what are we doing? What we are doing for business, what we are doing for the economy, like you heard the Madam Speaker say, we have explained that difficult as it is, we will keep the economy running. It will not collapse like it almost did in 2021. Oh, it did, eh?
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Sikongo.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, the European government won the 2021 elections with a landslide victory due to the confidence that the Zambians have in the European administration. Madam Speaker, it is not debatable that the PF were shell-shocked at such an embarrassing loss in the 2021 general elections. However, Madam Speaker, the people of Congo are surprised at the level of bitterness that is still being exhibited. The level of bitterness that is still being exhibited by our colleagues from the PF 3 years down the road. So, Her Honor, your Vice President, what message of comfort, what message of encouragement do you have to our colleagues who, if they continue on this path, we may end up losing some of them to diseases such as BP and the diabetes? I thank you so much.
Honor the Vice President.
Emma question here. Madam Speaker, this should be the questions, not Honorable Chitambo. Thank you very much. I think I'll start from your concern, Honorable Member of Congo, the concern at the level of bitterness being exhibited, and you have asked me for advice. Thank you very much. I'll give advice. It is important to understand that what goes up comes down, and when it is down, don't hold on to a broken string. Colleagues, you have gone. And the best you can do, Honorable Member for Bwacha, is to adjust. Life is adjusting. Honorable, thank you very much. You know, the best is to adjust. It is an expectation. You were born, when you are dead, that's it. You are gone. All you can do is indeed adjust, remove any bitterness. It is very good. And when you embrace that which is going on, we are not saying you shouldn't have opposition, but do it with civility, do it with real concern for the people. That is what it means, Honorable Mpundu. That's what it means. When you have gone there, continue thanking God that you are still, participating in the governance. But bitterness, Honorable has warned us that bitterness can bring BP, many diseases. So I think the counsel is stop being bitter. It is part of life. It's part of life. But don't think that you are coming back tomorrow. That is where the bitterness is coming from. If you relax and know we did our part, now let us support and let us help them. When supporting, I'm not saying agree with us all the time. That's not what it means. It means making us sit up. That, to me, is what democracy means. You speak to make us sit up. Because we are in government now, we are seeing things from one angle. You are seeing things from another angle. Let's together work and build our country. But bitterness will not help anybody. In fact, the more bitter you are, Honorable Member for Chairman North, the more you lose. The more you lose. People don't like bitter people. So relax and enjoy your position. We are here this time. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for Ron.
Yes, no question.
Honorable Member for Magoe.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and good morning, Your Honor, the Vice President. Madam Speaker, I just want to find out from Her Honor, the Vice President, they're making noise. Your Honor, I hope you are getting me. Thank you very much. This is the true Zambian height.
Yeah, my neighbor.
Your Honor, Madam Vice President, I just want to find out on behalf of the constituents I ably represent, Magoye. We really appreciate the maize that is available for us to buy, and the people have resources to use to buy through social cash transfer and also cash for work. The money is available, the maize is available in the sheds, but unfortunately, the maize allocated per week, the number is too small. Like in many words, it's about 300 bucks, of which households that needs that maize are so many. What is the government position in relation to help the community that have a lot of money, but unfortunately the maize that is allocated is too small? Thank you very much, Madam Vice President.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to thank my son, the Honorable Member, the youth from Magoye constituents. Thank you for that question, and I hope that through this question, we are speaking to all of us that need maize. We understand, and thank you, that you are saying maize is available in Magoye, where maize did not even grow, the drought. Okay, but the maize is there. How did it get there? This government is working to provide maize. Money is with people. Who is doing that? This government. But the point you raise, the concern, is that the maize allocated, not necessarily available, but the maize allocated is not enough to go around. Thank you. And this is what feedback we should get from you. You remember before you went on, when we adjourned the last meeting, we met and we said we need feedback from honorable members. You don't have to even come and ask here. You are doing politics so that they can hear in Magoye. Because when you tell us, this is how even policies change. We have to ensure that we give enough maize for the people. The minister is here. Maize is still available, so we will make it available. And even other wards, other constituencies where you think the maize is not enough, it's not going around because of the allocation, please don't hesitate to go to the Minister of Agriculture and say the allocation is not enough. In fact, we did ask for populations in these constituencies and wards, so that we are not just, hunting in the dark, so that we know in this ward how many people are there. For my office, we have that information, Honorable Minister of Agriculture. We can work together to ensure how many people are in these places and let them be availed or allocated enough, because we have said no one should die from hunger. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mukushi North.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I honor the Vice President. Good morning. I'll repeat the question that I asked, I think on Tuesday, concerning sustainable agriculture financing facility. I hope the Minister of Agriculture will put words in our honor, the Vice President. Mukushi has farmers that have applied for this loan facility. But up to now, our honor, the Vice President, the farmers have not received any feedback as to when they will receive these loans. The banks that are undertaking this program are not giving our farmers the information as to when the farmers will receive these inputs. Remember, if the monies are given to these farmers in January, they'll serve no purpose, because the purpose is to use this money for agriculture. So when are our farmers receiving the monies under SAFE. I honor the Vice President. Thank you.
Her Honor the Vice President.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I should say good morning to you also. Yes, I think this is a concern that there is a delay. I agree, there is a delay, because in some places the rains came, but I believe that also God works in a good way. I am told that this is being done right now. NatSave and other banks have started, and they have released the codes of the loans will be accessed now, from now through next week. Indeed, we regret the delay, but government is aware. We need these people to produce this year, and we are working on that. Within next week, you should be able to see a serious movement. Yeah, he's still telling me. Yes, next week. This week, I think NatSave is already released, but other banks are coming in next week. There was a little, problem in between, but it is resolved now, and we pray that people will not get these loans in January. I agree with you, but now. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mwembeji.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, there is a lot of things which are happening in my constituency, and the people were glued to the new technology, telling them that the rains through the green economy and the meteorological department, that the rains in the southern part of Zambia, by this time they are supposed to be raining, according to the report which we got. People got a lot of money and planted. The people in Mwembeshi are actually wondering as to whether the data which was being given by the department from the Ministry of Green Economy was actually accurate. Because after planting, actually there is a drought. This is very serious, because now, if it doesn't rain, there is going to be more hunger than the hunger we're having this year. So, Madam, Your Honor, the people of Mwembeshi would want to understand what are the plans, because this is actually, you're saying that there is already a drought here. What are the plans? Can we go and assure the people in Mwembeshi that people won't die because they planted and the maize actually hasn't been germinated? What have you got to say with this data which I've been getting from meteorological and what is happening on the ground? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Her Honor the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I would like to thank the Honorable Member for Mwembeshi for this very important question. In fact, if we had the time, we would probably have issued a statement on the matter. I think the concern is, are we going to rely on the meteorological reports that we are getting on the I don't know whether these are projections or the reports that they get. One thing we have to say, whether this information is reliable, yes, it is humanly. Because what meteorological department gives to the public through the green economy is not just by them alone. It is also a regional matter. In fact, this heat and the lack of rain now is what Botswana talk about. So they don't do it alone. This information they give is very honest, truthful. But unfortunately, the capacity to tell beyond this may not be there. Also, basically, no one is getting it right. I'm sorry to say this, because if you are observing what is going on with the issues of climate change globally, you will be surprised. I saw in one country yesterday, there was a warning of a tsunami. I think those that watched. And by the end of the day, they said, okay, it won't come. But they had an earthquake, a terrible earthquake. And we have seen people are dying in developed countries because of the disasters that are induced by climate change. So your government is doing whatever they can within the means available to them and informing the public. Right now, the information is not completely decisive or complete that there will be no rain. So we have not declared that there will be drought. In fact, that statement talked about rains probably coming after 10th of December. Yeah. But I do understand last year we also had the same situation. But you can't tell people not to plant. That is very important. Farmers here will know that if there is faith in any profession, or is it any, it's a profession, eh? Oh, good. Thank you, my son. It is in farmers, because farmers don't stop planting. This honorable is a farmer. He lost 100 hectares last year, but he has already planted 200 this time. That is the... Yes, he's rich, but we are not saying everybody should plant, because riches are relative. Even the one who is planting 1 hectare is rich, according to that. And therefore, losing 1 hectare is as painful to that person as it may be painful to over-rich person for 100. So the feeling is the same. So the point is, let us encourage them to continue. The reports will continue coming. We can't be conclusive now that there will be no rain, it's a drought. Unfortunately, we have this period. But we are still believing in the reports that we got that the rains will come again. And this time, hopefully, will cover the rest of the country. There is still rain, colleagues, up north, in certain parts up north. But the south is again affected this time. But we pray that come 10th or after 10th, the 12th, the rains come and what we have planted or what we are about to plant will survive. It is not the work of man. Madam Speaker, you say acts of God. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chadiza.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Your Honor, the Vice President, in August this year, at the Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people of Eastern Province, the President, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Hakainde Hichilema, promised the people of Chadiza that before the end of this year, there will be a groundbreaking ceremony for the upgrading of the Chipata-Chadiza road to bituminous standard. Now that we are adjourning Parliament today, the people of Chadiza would like to know, Your Honor, the Vice President, when is the President coming to conduct a groundbreaking ceremony for the upgrading to bituminous standard of the much spoken about Chipata-Chadiza road? Madam, I thank you very much.
Order, honorable members. I thought today was what, 6th December. I honor the Vice President.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Chadiza. You refer to the words or what the promise of the President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Hakainde Hichilema, that he promised that before the end of this year, there will be a groundbreaking ceremony for the Chadiza Chipata Road. We walk the talk. He walks the talk. As we are here, the bid was out. Out of 3 bidders, 1 contractor has already been picked. Selected, you say selected. 1 contractor has been selected. And therefore, it's just the little processes that are going on. And we pray it can probably be done on the 31st. If it is not done by then, a little further you will bear. But this will be done within the time frame that was given. We are on it. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for Kantanshi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. This being the last Vice President's question time for 2024, Madam Speaker, allow me to congratulate Honor the Vice President on her performance. It's been impressive. But I also want to put on record, Madam Speaker, last week on Friday, and in my question, I did comment that the President was under state capture, a comment that I've since regretted and apologized to the President. My question to our Honor the Vice President is, all the MPs have expressed concern on the cost of mealie meal. And for us in Kantanshi, we have highly benefited from the leadership. We have benefited on Mupane, we have benefited on Mukambo Road, we have benefited on the cash for work, we have benefited on a number of government interventions. But we are struggling on the cost of mealie meal. Are there any deliberate steps government is going to take? Because it seems your last 3 years, the cost of mealie meal has been so elusive. Amongst all the big challenges you have had, which have been able to sort out, mealie meal has been a big issue. Are you able to give us a clear strategy or steps that you're going to take so that our people can have confidence that as much as they're benefiting from all these other programs, indeed the cost of mealie meal will equally drop? Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Her Honor the Vice President.
Thank you very much. At least today there were no accounts and the economy and the It's important to admit your capacity. There are things that I have to completely rely on somebody else because I may not fully understand without being briefed. Let me start by accepting the apology. And let me thank you very much, just as I thank Honorable Member for Chitambo, is there, for indeed congratulating me for being an author, for producing a book. It's a simple book, and I thank the honorable members that have had sight of the book. It's simple, but it's very important. It's important that you buy it. You buy it for your children if you can't read it. It is the story of my life. Oh, sorry, I'm taking too long. I know he is now complaining. That's Kafwaya. Let me talk about me a little also. I am just acknowledging that, thank you. The book is available. You can come. Andy, thank you. Thank you very much. Your concern, very good. Your concern is on the cost of living, really. After you appreciate all these that have been done, the roads that have been done, also the interventions on the drought and the hunger. Honorable, when you say cost of living, what is it that we are talking about? In my mind, then I start saying, what are you talking about when you talk about the cost of living? Minimal, that's why we are mitigating, for example, with the interventions that are available. Why do you think we are giving social cash transfer? What is it for? Is it not to mitigate this? Because the real answer to the end, even of government, to stop this enhanced social cash transfer. I'm not talking about the social cash transfer, but the one which is drought related. We must have enough well-paying jobs. Like I said, it's the same question, madam, that was the first and it is the last. Cost of living. Cost of living is a very general statement. There are many things that improve on the cost of living. Even your road, sir, is working on the cost of living because it gives ability for the people to move and be able to do economic activities. That is part of, to me, in Nalumangonomics, you think wholesomely. You think wholesomely. You don't think of one activity. All the activities linked to the cost of living. That's what it means. If there is no road in Kaputa, then there is a problem. If there is, no road, it's a problem. But when the road is there, the honorable members' people will be happy because they'll be able to move here and there to have economic activity which brings food on the table. So if the cost of living is food, that is why we are bringing in intervention. Now, madam, that it is the last day, like the honorable has said, for 2024, and I am happy that it is the last Friday for 2024 for me. Allow me, madam, you give me a little more extra. Let me conclude. Let me conclude by saying this government is working to improve the living standards of our people. We may not be there, but we are working every day. Unlike some people who are going backwards, like your government. This government, honorable members, must not forget that we have provided free education. Then you are going to tell me, what is the cost of living? Don't you know that when a child is not paying, the little the parents were supposed to pay remains now in there? Okay. That is improving the cost of living. It will be an addition on the purchase of that meal you are concerned about. When we say, let us give the partial payment under NAPSA, the 20%, don't you think we are improving the lives of our people in their homes? Indeed, it is disposable income, and it also have a ripple effect. Because these families that get involved in economic activities. What of the CDF? Where is it going? I am telling you, this little project you are doing is not you doing it. You are giving somebody a little contract. It is improving the cost of living. That's why I said the cost of living, madam, is not a one thing. You have to see it in all these things we are doing. This is the real concern for the people of Zambia. Minds opening. Too many. Yesterday somebody said you can't go through them. And more will open by next year. That I can assure you. When we talk of, I've talked of roads, meal allowance for please, that is cost of living. I've talked about the roads, sir, that it is reduction on the cost of living. I think I can go on and on, but all these are addressing the cost of living. Maybe, Mr. Economist, you didn't know that the road is working to improve the cost of living. So whatever we are doing is for the people and to ensure that the cost of living for our people is stabilized, brought down, affordable, and we will continue to create jobs and see that in Mopani. Look at the jobs. Look at the contracts. You should stand on your head and say, thank you, this government. As Honorable Mpundu, it's my last day in 2024, and we have done wonders. We will continue to improve the lives of our people, and I'm assuring them through this August House that Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, is thinking all the time. Be assured that we will continue to improve. It is my hope that next year like this, there will be less voice because of what will have happened in the economy. We have been assured, where is my minister? He's gone. Minister of Finance. The assurance that the economy has a brighter future, a brighter look for 2025, with the mines opening, with the contracts signed, jobs all over. Hey, Madam, I want to thank you, and want to thank the honorable members for the support they have given to this office, and indeed the questions that make me my head move. But I hope that the answers, Madam, according to what we know, they are not meant to satisfy these colleagues. They are meant to bring facts and answers. You may not like my answers, but please like me. Thank you.
Thank you. An indication for a point of order. Honorable Member Fonkana, what's the point of order?
Madam Speaker, as guided by Standing Order 71, the procedures of Parliament do not allow us to raise points of orders during the Vice President's time. I've sat here the last 47 minutes, Madam Speaker, listening to the Vice President, particularly that she has stressed so much on the issue of cost of living. And she concludes by stating that the UPND government is producing wonders. Because this House dictates that we must be factual. Among the other components of the cost of living is access to medical services. Is the Vice President in order, Madam Speaker, to the Vice President in order, Madam Speaker, to stand there proudly talking about government working to improve the cost of, living, when our people are dying on their way from the defunct cancer hospitals into Tanzania, when this government spends $21 million to build a hospital in the Central African Republic, which hospital is not existent as we speak today. I know, Madam Vice President, that Imweta Muliamo. Order.
Honorable Member Fonkana, what you are doing, you are not raising a point of order. You are raising issues relating to a hospital in. That is not a point of order. Even if you had that hospital, do you have evidence to show that that hospital was built and that Her Honor the Vice President has not eaten from it? All those are not necessary. It's not even a point of order. Please get to your point of order so that we make progress.
Madam Speaker, is the Vice President in order to assure the Zambian people that her government is working in addressing the cost of living when this government has failed to just address the issue of facilitating for equipping the cancer hospital that will prevent lives from being lost between that defunct hospital into Tanzania. I seek your indulgence, Madam Speaker.
Order, honorable member. The issue of cost of living, I think, was asked by 3 honorable members. But I'm just wondering, who else can stand proudly and talk about the success of the performance of their government, other than her honor, the Vice President herself? She's speaking from facts. She's speaking from what she's doing. So if we have another proof to show that the government is not performing, bring the evidence. But her honor has given reasons why she believes her government is performing. So can we raise a point of order on that? Let's make progress. I have permitted the Honorable Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts to present a ministerial statement. The Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports. Order, honorable members. Let's allow the Honorable Minister to deliver his ministerial statement.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And I should also add a voice to those that may congratulate our Honor the Vice President for our exemplary leadership in this House. Thank you very much for guiding us to a level where we are now. Madam Speaker, I wish to thank you most sincerely for giving me this opportunity to address this august House, and through this House to inform the nation on the importance of developing a multi-sports facility in each constituency, which will not only address the physical, social, and economic aspects, but it will also act as a pillar of holistic development in each constituency. As you may be aware, Zambia has achieved significantly and also significant milestones in sports across various disciplines in recent years, such as one in athletics, where Mzara Samkonga won Zambia's Olympic medal after 28 years at the 2024 Paris Games, breaking a national record in the process. Number 2, Madam Speaker, football. We are also aware that the Copper Queens achieved notable success by participating in the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup for the first time in the history of this country, and also qualifying for the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations and securing a back-to-back Olympic Games qualifications, again for the first time in the history of this country. Additionally, Madam Speaker, our very own Barbara Banda, Copper Orlando Pride and Orlando Pride striker, won the 2024 BBC Women's Footballer of the Year. And suffice to mention that our very own, again, Barbara Banda and Racho Kunda Nanji are the most expensive players in the world now. So, Madam Speaker, if you can't talk about these achievements, then what are you talking about? Anyway, dreams are free. People can continue dreaming. You are going, and yet we are achieving a lot, Madam Speaker. Number 3, hosting of events such as Strongman African Championship, professional boxing bouts, and all of us are aware, Barcelona and African Legends, that have contributed to increase sports tourism and economic development. In 2023, Madam Speaker, Zambia won
the Best Sporting Nation Award in Southern Africa and in the regional awards. As you may be aware, through the directive of the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, I am one of the ministers who has facilitated the equal pay for both male and female soccer players, bridging the gender disparity, Madam Speaker. And to crown it all, the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, has directed that there is no minor sport in the country. Hence, all sport codes must receive equal attention for the betterment of the game. Madam, these are achievements. Even yesterday, the under-17 won Namibia by 8-0. We just got 2 COSAFA trophies, under-20, men under-20, under-20 girls and under-20 girls and boys. And now the under-17 yesterday also walloped Namibia by that margin, 8-0. Those are achievements, Madam Speaker. And the country, Madam Speaker, stands to do better than the aforementioned achievements if only we can roll out the development of multi-sports facilities in each constituency of Zambia. The benefit of such a project serves as a critical component for community development, such as, number 1, promotion of health and wellness exercises, a catalyst for combating non-communicable diseases, such as diabetes and also hypertension. Number 2, fostering of recreational sports will promote mental health and social interactions, hence mitigating sad developments such as unwanted pregnancies and junkies in the street. Further, this approach, Madam Speaker, will enable our young people to stay away from drugs, alcohol, and substance abuse. Number 3, talent identification and development, which is also a form of youth empowerment and pathway to professional sport. Number 4, gender and inclusivity of women, children, and people with disabilities, as we believe sport is a pivotal vehicle for alleviating poverty from our youth and also job creation. And above all, Madam Speaker, sport is a unifier. Because I've never seen when you're at the stadium someone saying that this is my religion, this is my political party, all of us just cheer. That is how sport can unify the country, Madam Speaker. Ultimately, the multi-sports facilities supports Zambia's Vision 2030 by promoting a health, educated, and a middle-income country. And additionally, this project will promote entrepreneurship among our young people. As you may be aware, Madam Speaker, the ministry devolved community sport function, together with a corresponding amount of 30 million kwacha for all the local authorities in our country. And this was according to the National Decentralization Policy of 2023, the Local Government Act and the National Decentralization Strategy. The aim, Madam Speaker, is to empower the community to take charge of their sports development and promote broader societal benefits. And therefore, the multi-sports facilities are a very important tool in realizing this aim and is a must for talent identification and also development. It is now our task as members of Parliament to sensitize our constituents on the modalities of accessing this community sport fund. And to this effect, the ministry developed standard operating procedures which were ably shared with some of the provinces as the program is still ongoing. Madam Speaker, the proposed budget for the development of multi-sports facility to be considered by various constituencies is in the range of between 7 million kwacha to 15 million kwacha, and broken down as follows. In case you want only a soccer pitch and a multi-purpose court, it is only 9 million kwacha. And Madam Speaker, when we say multi-purpose course, this is where we have a volleyball court, we have tennis court, we have netball court, and all other sports courts, plus the soccer pitch. And the soccer pitch comes with a very good grandstand and also some terraces. Number two, a running track. A running track is 5 million kwacha. The futsal and multi-purpose court. Now there is a football pitch and also a multi-purpose course, which is about 7 to 15. A futsal and also a multi-purpose court is about 8,749,624 kwacha 8 tengwe. Again, you have a futsal court and also other courts I mentioned, like volleyball, handball, and others. Allow me, Madam Speaker, now to clarify that the ministry is engaging with contractors on how best the project can be delivered at a minimal cost without jeopardizing the works. This is so because some places, due to their distances and their landscape, will have different cost estimates. This project, Madam Speaker, can be realized from the Constituency Development Fund in a phased manner. And I repeat, in a phased manner. Starting with, you can start with the football pitch in 1 year, constructing a tennis court in another year, and so on and so forth. I know Honorable Member wanted the Minister of Youth and Sport to give him everything. We are talking about the community sport, and the community sport, you are also part of the community sport. And therefore, as members of Parliament, let us also tap into, and I repeat, let us also tap into CDF, besides other avenues of financing. And let's underline, besides other avenues of financing. This project, Madam Speaker, therefore calls for concerted collaboration from members of Parliament to come on board and make it a reality. I therefore call upon them to plan and budget for this project starting the year 2025. Thus, during this break, I encourage all of us, members of Parliament, to take it upon ourselves to sensitize our respective communities on the benefits of multi-sports facilities in the advancement of sports development. Madam Speaker, as I conclude, let me state that government remains very committed in ensuring that the dream of the multi-sports facilities in each constituency is realized, because it will not just be about infrastructure, but it will be about empowering our youth, strengthening communities, and positioning Zambia on the global sports map. Together, let us ensure that sports become a cornerstone of national pride and development. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members are now free to ask questions.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to be the first one to ask a question, to the Honorable Minister on his ministerial statement. Minister, I'm as worried, I think, as many other MPs are with your ministerial statement. But the question I have is, CDF has been very difficult to implement on these capital projects that we'll be doing in the constituencies. What mechanism is government going to put into place that your area of interest or expertise is not going to present similar complications in implementation, in sourcing the funds for implementing these projects? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for that follow-up question. Madam Speaker, through you, the measure has already been put in place. This is the only ministry, Madam Speaker, that have never tapped into CDF. other ministries like education, ministries like health, ministries, just to mention but a few, Madam Speaker, have tapped into CDF. But we need to be mindful of the fact that if we don't have a physically active citizenry, Madam Speaker, productivity can never be enhanced. So first and foremost, we need to promote wellness. We need to make sure that our people are healthy, even as we now execute other programs. So for me, it is important that we have these multi-sports facilities in every constituency. And we are not even saying that you draw the 07 million kwacha in 2025. All these courts have been costed. For example, a pitch for football has been costed about 1.3 million. So what I'm asking from members of parliament is, as we rise, Madam Speaker, they go and influence the community so that at the end of the day, they allocate some funds, not the 07 million. We can even stagger it in 4 years, 5 years, as long as we realize our objective. Yeah. But I think it is important we start. We can start with a futsal, you can start with a volleyball court, you can start with a football pitch, but as long as we have an objective, obviously we'll be able to realize that objective when we stagger it every year. Yeah. So for those that have concerns, I'm not saying that, I'm also a member of parliament, and I know that we cannot draw the 7 million or 10 million at one go. We can say 1.3 million, for instance, for the football pitch. In 2026, unless, Madam Speaker, some have concerns that they may not come back. But for us who are coming back, we don't have issues like that. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honourable Member for Mpika.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me put it on record that CDF is allotted into 3 parts. That is, number 1, community projects, 60%. Number 2, secondary school and skills development bursaries, 20%. Number 3, loans and grants, 20%. Madam Speaker, you cannot get money meant for loans and grants and use it for the construction of, for instance, a stadium. Neither can you get money meant for skills development and use it for community projects. This means that, Madam Speaker, you only have 60% for community projects. Now, Madam Speaker, I'll give you a scenario of my constituency, Mpika parliamentary constituency. I have 64 polling stations, 1,200 villages. In all these villages, they want to see development from CDF. Yet here, the Minister of Youth is proposing that I get 9 million and allocate it towards the construction of a stadium. Yet our own people are moving 9 kilometers, 25 kilometers, 30 kilometers to find the next health center. Madam Speaker, my question to the Honorable Minister of Sports is, did you send your officers on the ground to go and check the developmental needs of our people, first and foremost, before coming up with those proposals? They are progressive though, but the resource envelope under CDF, Honorable Minister, did you check to see if that is even anywhere near being feasible? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. And let me address the issues that has been raised by Honourable Member. Madam Speaker, sometimes we forget that ministers are also members of parliament. In fact, this minister is a member of parliament for Kaputa, in case the honourable member has forgotten. And I have more than 17 words, Madam Speaker. So when someone is talking about how large our constituencies are, I think I have a very big constituency. Maybe that's why we are even saying the limitation should help us. So I'm not new to some of the issues that he has raised, but I think we should not mislead the nation. I don't know why every time when a noble thing is being debated, some people deliberately would want to bring in politics or just mislead the nation. I was very clear, Madam Speaker. I was very clear in my statement that I didn't even talk about the whole 9 million in 2025. I said we can get even a 1.3 million, it could be 2 million, it could be 3 million, as long as you start something. And maybe, Madam Speaker, who told Honorable Kapianga that the sports facility we are talking about is not under community projects? Because he happily debated very well that under community projects, there is some money that is supposed to be spent. And I want to encourage him that from the community projects, that's where Honorable can draw money. I'll also give an example of Nimba. Nimba and also Ron. Before I could bring this statement, in fact, even Bangweulo, some progressive MPs came even to me that we wanted to spend some of our CDF to construct the pitches I'm talking about. So it is not just coming from the blues. It is something that some of the progressive members have already debated about. So for me, I would want to encourage you that from the community projects, we can get something. After all, Madam Speaker, almost all members of Parliament who mean well, they always contributed to sport in their respective constituencies. So are they telling me that it's only when we are getting to campaigns that's when now people can be looked at? No, we believe that talent is in every corner of the country. Yes. And even these are the same people, Madam Speaker, some of them on your left. Yeah. When we lose as a country, they always mock us, especially me.
Hey, yes, you.
And you need to know that one of the ingredients, one of the catalysts to have quality athletes is by first having quality infrastructure. We need to improve on sports infrastructure. Right. Then we will be able to say in Pika we are having quality players. It's because they have somewhere that they are playing. Facilities are there. Facilities are good. So what is wrong in having a very good facility in Mpika? So my brother, honorable member, please help the people of Mpika by giving them a multi-sports facility so that we harness their potential. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah. Thank you, the honorable member for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, I heard you mention about community sport fund that has been distributed to our constituencies. Could you shed more light as to why members of parliament were excluded on this program? Because we would use part of this money in addition to our CDF to develop these sports facilities in our constituencies. I thank you.
Thank you, the Honorable Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank Honorable Member for Kaumbwe for that important question. Madam Speaker, I'll be very, very honest with the nation through this House that members of Parliament indeed have raised concerns. And that's why I'm appreciating a member for Kaumbwe. I've raised concerns over the community sport. Because community sport has been given 30 million kwacha. And this is shared among the districts. But I think what has come to my attention, Madam Speaker, is that the councils are not involving members of parliament as they execute this important program. Now, through this House, Madam Speaker, I want to state that members of parliament are community leaders, first and foremost. Councillors are community leaders. We also have what we call the District Sports Advisory Committees, DSACs. These are community leaders who are supposed to be involved as they execute this important program. So I want to direct the local authorities, because this money is coming from us, from the Ministry of Youth. Let members of parliament be involved. And to that effect, Madam Speaker, we also have guidelines now. Maybe, because I think guidelines delayed, maybe they behaved in the way they behaved because the guidelines didn't reach them in time. So what we are now doing is that from this session, we are going to write to all the local authorities so that they follow what is stipulated in the guidelines.
Right.
So, Honorable Member for Kaumbwe, you are covered. We are going to make sure that even in Chirubi, the Member of Parliament is involved, so that some of the money that you are spending to buy jerseys, to buy footballs, that money can help.
Yeah.
That money can help, if that is the word. So, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. We'll do just that.
Thank you. Maybe just a suggestion that you liaise with the Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development as you give directions to the Council, so that you avoid stepping on each other's toes. The Honorable Member for Muchinga.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I just want to ask the Minister of Youth, Sport and Child Development that, Honorable Minister, can you tell the House and the people of Zambia as to how much money was allocated to each district council for sports activities for the October 24th activities? Because I hear that monies were released, and the councils were in receipt of the money, but some words are saying they did not get, and you know our people, when they hear that money has been given out, they think maybe it's a big chunk of money, or sometimes it's a very small amount of money, according to what they were receiving. So as a Member of Parliament, I've been receiving these questions, and I think this is an opportunity for me to ask you to tell us as to how much was released from your ministry to the local government, to the local councils. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member for Muchinga. The budget for the community sport is 30 million kwacha, and I believe that by the end of this year, all the 30 million kwacha would have been disbursed. So I know members of parliament are very good at mathematics. You can only divide the 156 constituencies into 30 million, then you'll be able to find how much was given to sorry, 116 districts. So yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Member, for. So you are really following. 116 districts, you divide it into 30 million kwacha, then obviously you'll be able to find how much is supposed to be given to every council. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Mwandi.
Thank you so very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you so very much, Honorable Minister, for that ministerial statement. Honorable Minister, in your statement, one of the things that you said was to recognize our girls and the good works that they are doing. That is Konda Nanji and Barbara Banda. We are very much aware that soccer is a sport that has been predominantly, for men, and we've seen the girls that are doing so well today. But just like in politics, when women come on, to do things that were predominantly done by men, we face a lot of challenges. Examples can be given where women in politics, even here, a woman can be insulted. And we've seen it also now happening, being taken on the playing field, where Barbara Banda has won the first BBC Sports Award. And the attacks that have gone to her are very, very disheartening. Madam, and just the discrimination that she has faced, while being in another country where maybe she might not be able to handle that pressure. As a ministry, what message are you sending to that woman that has done so well for herself in this discrimination that she's facing on the international forum? I submit.
The Honorable Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member from Mwandi, for that important question. I think being in the week of 16 days of activism, I think it was just important that you raise that important issue. Madam Speaker, first and foremost, what we are doing first is to encourage Barbara Banda. You know, when you are succeeding in whatever you are doing, there are also other negativity that comes in. As she said, like politics, obviously you don't expect everyone to praise you. I think when I was at government forum, I should also take advantage of this important session to say that even to encourage the Vice President, the President, and everyone in the New Dawn, I'll start from there, that it is not, it's not visible that Satan will praise God. It will never happen. Satan will never praise God. Even when you do very good things, Satan will continue criticizing. Even as New Dawn administration, there's a lot of interventions that we've done. But I believe that our colleagues on your left will continue criticizing even the good things that we are doing.
Yeah.
So Barbara Banda should also take a lift to this, that even as she succeeds, there will be people out there who will be criticizing. The best we can do as a country is to continue encouraging her, continue praying for her, so that she do even more than she is doing now. I think for me that is the most important thing.
Yeah.
The government, by having that equal pay I talked about, has done its what is supposed to be done. And once again, congratulations to Barbara Banda. We'll continue encouraging her. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah. Thank you. The Honorable Member for Lunte.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Minister has appealed to members of Parliament to go and influence constituents to use CDF in building stadia.
Order. As the time is 10:40 hours, I suspend business for 20 minutes for a health break.
And at the time business was being suspended for the break, on the floor of the House was Lunte Member of Parliament, Mr. Mutokwe Kafwaya, who was just about to ask a question that's seeking point of clarification on a ministerial statement that has been rendered by the Honorable Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts, that's Honorable Elvis Singh Kandu, on the development of multi-sports facilities in each constituency. And so when business resumes after break, we do expect Mr. Kafwaya to ask his question.
And so when business resumed at golden hours, Madam Speaker did make two announcements, and in the first announcement she did recognize the presence in the public gallery of a visitor from Lutando Youth and Young Women Empowerment from Chipata District, Eastern Province. And then the second announcement, she did recognize the presence in the public gallery of visitors from Rwansha Parliamentary Constituency in Rwansha District, and on behalf of the National Assembly, Madam Speaker did welcome the visitors to the National Assembly of Zambia.
And other business that has been transacted on the floor of the House includes Her Honor the Vice President's question time, which took 45 minutes, in which Her Honor was responding to various questions. Just now, we take you on a break. Keep watching Parliament Television.
The National Assembly of Zambia, in conjunction with the Southern African Development Community Parliamentary Forum SADC PF, will host the 56th Plenary Assembly session from the 8th to 15th December 2024 at the Radisson Blue Mosotunya Resort in Livingstone under the theme Leveraging Technology and Innovation for Smart, Inclusive and Responsive Parliaments in the SADC region. SADC PF is a regional interparliamentary body comprising 15 national parliaments. SADC